It's Wendy Melrose. Welcome, Wendy. So glad to have you here today.
Thanks for having me.
Oh, I'm so excited. So Wendy is an amazing person, and I just love meeting people through social media. I know some people are like weirded out about it, but I love it. And Wendy is one of these amazing people that I have met. We met on LinkedIn, and I'm so excited because she's here today to help you have your story be told. And so we're going to talk a little bit about that. Wendy, tell us a little bit about what you do and how you serve.
Yeah, so I am a writing and self-publishing facilitator. So people hire me to help them go from idea to concept finished book, anywhere from one-to-one to cohorts or even in a writer's community based upon your needs, your style, and how you want to be supported.
I love that. So like when somebody's watching this, like who's your ideal person? That person that's like they see this and they go, "Oh, I need to work with Wendy." Who is it? What are they thinking?
Yeah, so a lot of times it's people who have had a book setting down or idea. They've been wanting to write a book for 20 years, and it is like, I don't know how I'm going to get that done. Or they've even used the words, I'm not a finisher. If you're looking for someone to help you realize you are a finisher, you are amazing, you're made for more, your story matters, then we need to connect because you want to stop the narrative of telling yourself you're not a finisher because you are. You have finished many things in your life. Now let's finish the book.
Amazing. And, I think that points to something I know we talked about when we first met about how sometimes it's not the actual writing that's the problem, that it's the mindset up here. And I know, can you speak to that? Because I think that, and I know it's part of what you offer in your service because it is a thing. Tell me a little bit about how that works and what that looks like and getting somebody through that stuck spot, if you will.
Yeah. So when I start with authors, I also pray over them. I equip them with mindset tools, and more than just New Age, I apply scriptures so they can speak over their lives, something that they can tangibly know what's true about them, what our Creator has told them, and that they are amazing and they're made for such a time as this. Your story isn't for anything. And Revelations, it talks about how the world will be changed by our testimony. This is you. This is your life. You have been created for more. You just have to get your head out of your way and take every evil thought captive in the mighty name of Jesus. So we have to understand that when we have the doubt, when we have the anxiety, when we have the fear, that isn't of God. God is love. And so if you have thoughts or anything other than love, then we need to stop that. And so I help you with that. We go over the mindset, and it's just equipping you with the tools to help you remember, hey, this is good. It's going to be okay. You don't have to be afraid of anybody reading your story because it's not about those who may create judgment over you. It's for those who need your story because they're going through it now. Remember, what you've been through versus other people going through it, that's your ministry.
Love that so much. And like, who doesn't need that hand holding, and sometimes it's a matter of vulnerability, right? Like that fear of being seen, right? And that fear of being seen is of the enemy. Yesterday, I was watching something and the person said, when talking about something, shame disappears. Like that is literally the antidote, if you will, to somebody who's worrying that they'll be judged or whatever, which I know comes into a lot of that mindset. I love that you haven't incorporated your faith into your business and extending that to help somebody else, navigate some of those mindset things with that faith foundation. I want to take a side step on that and actually ask, how did that become important to you to be able to serve with what you're doing and helping people get their stories out there and attaching that to your faith? How did that come about for you?
Yeah. So the Lord made it very clear to me in December of 2023 that I have written stories on people's hearts, or I've told them to take action towards writing a book, and they're not doing it, either because they don't know how or they're being disobedient. And I know we don't like the word obedience, but when it comes to being obedient to what our Creator has told us to do, it's a matter of taking the action. Because if He's told you to do this, there are some times that if you don't do it, He will find someone else to do that. And who wants to go meet Him after He has called us home and said, hey, I chose someone else because I wanted you to do this? Nobody wants to hear that. We all want to hear, well done, good and faithful servant. So that is my goal, and that's my heart. And so when He moved me out of an industry that was not writing into restoring my gift and helping people write, I wanted to be obedient in that, because anytime that I have put God on the sidelines, I paid the price, not out of punishment, but because out of repercussion. There's not punishment, but sometimes there's consequences. And I never want to dishonor my Savior because I didn't also include Him in my process.
Oh, I love that. And I think it's just embracing also the gifts and talents that He's bestowed on you to walk alongside an author who maybe even at the point when you are introduced to them can't even recognize themselves as an author, right? Because I've worked with authors as well, and like that's a big thing. Like, I'm not a writer, I'm not an author, I'm not this, and I'm like, wait a minute, but you're doing it. Like, what do you mean you aren't that? So there is so much of that mindset, and I think it's a true gem that inside what you do, that you have that knitted in there for people, because it becomes a bigger growth process than just getting the book on to paper or getting it published, right? It becomes about being more of you in that process. How does that feel for you when you walk alongside? I know we talked about the different people that you are working with currently. How does it feel for you as that person who is leading in that process? How does that feel for you, Wendy?
It's pretty amazing. Like, I literally just attended a book signing for one of my authors who finished her book at the beginning of November, and she had it locally. A lot of times my authors aren't local, so I don't always travel to everybody's events, but this one happened to be 30 minutes away. And knowing that she took the feat to write a 365-day Bible study devotion. That's a lot of pages, guys. It's a lot of devotion and hearing from God and what she's supposed to write. Well, there was a lot of times she's like, is this good enough? Does anybody care? Is someone going to read that? Like, that was stupid. And I'm like, no one's going to read that. Everything is great. Sometimes we become our own worst enemy. But by watching her video on going live when she had the Amazon package, because she bought it on Prime so she could get it really fast, so it take 3 to 4 weeks for her to get her author copies. She opens the package on live Amazon, live Facebook, and the tears run down her face because she was so excited that she actually finished it. And that's what happens every time, is knowing that when you hold the book that really came through your soul, through your heart, out of your mouth, out of your fingers, and into a tangible item, it changes your life.
Oh, that's so awesome. Now, something that popped into my mind when you were talking, Wendy, was my mentor, Danelle Delgado, always says one of her favorite quotes is, "Who loses if you don't win?" And that actually popped into my mind when you were talking, is like, that was a classic example. Somebody questions, oh, is my story good enough? Or I don't know if I should do this. And I've always said it differently, as I've always said, it's someone's waiting for you. But it's the same thing, right? And that's the thing. Somebody loses if you don't win, meaning if you don't finish, like you were referring to earlier, somebody's going to miss the message that they needed to get from your story, from your journey, which points right back to what you said. Your story matters, right? Getting it out and sharing. So before we talk about where people can connect with you, I want you just to share with our viewers, what is it that is, what's the catalyst for somebody that pushes them to say, I have this thought inside me and I don't know if I should, move forward, or I've been sitting on this, like you mentioned, 20 years, I had this book in me. what's the catalyst? What's the thing that needs to happen to have them take that step?
Really, it just comes to the point where you have to realize that will you regret at the end of your life that you didn't do what you said you were going to do? And I know that may not be like an exact catalyst, but it is a real one. And when we realize that we get one life to serve others and to bring life to others, to change their lives, to create the ripple effect amongst generations through the story that you know you're supposed to put out there, through the book, through the resource. And it's urgency, because if we do not get that outcome, we do not know when God will call us home. And I don't think any of us here who even has the thought, I really want to write a book. If you even have the tinge of desire that it's something you want to do, then you need to do it, because 80% of the world wants to become an author, 3% do so.
Well, that is a startling number to be sure. So, and who doesn't want to be part of that 3% and walk hand in hand with you to do that is a beautiful thing. So we want to connect people with what you do. And I do know, I want you just to really quickly, I'm going to put the website up here, the resilience-press.com. They can find out all kinds of, you do all kinds of things, even including the publishing, but there's lots of things that people can connect with you about. But I want you just to touch on something that's really important. If somebody just wants to take a baby step into getting there and have that little bit of push, tell us how they can do that with you, Wendy.
Yeah, so I've created Writer's Master Plan. It's a community on School, SKOOL. It's a very popular community now. They have an app that's super easy to get into, and there's none of the Facebook drama. It's a way for you to be able to connect with other writers in my community. It starts at $5 a month, and it's an easy way for you to check out my face support. You have AI prompts. You have a peer support. You have wins. You can join me twice a week for 30 minutes each to get this, like, hey, build the trust. Like, this isn't about you jumping in head first and saying, I'm going to spend all this money to get this done. It's a way for you to choose your path, your way, for your result.
Let me do it. Sorry, I'm over here going, that's so cool. Oh man, what a wonderful thing, especially for somebody who's feeling a little unsure, doesn't know if it's exactly what they want to do, and what a price point that is available to everyone, right? And it's perfect for that, especially even that beginner writer that really, and they may not be a beginner writer, but like in the sense that other people might be reading their writing, right? But taking that step in faith to say, I want to surround myself with other people who are doing that, and get the guidance along the way that they're going to get, from you, Wendy. So I know you have a free gift for our viewers. Can you tell us real quick about what that free gift is?
Yeah, it is called Story to Stage, and it just helps you remember it's your story carries message, and it's a 5-day email experience where purpose-driven storytellers uncover the moment their message was born. And so whether it belongs in a book, a podcast, or both, it's a way for you to start telling your story. Because sometimes before you write your book, you need to start telling the world, and that can be podcasting. So I know this is about writing, but it's a way for you to share your story.
That's awesome. Having tech problems.
Yeah, who cares?
Oh my gosh. And can you tell us the website? I'm having a moment. I can't get, and is this on resilience-press.com that they can get the freebie on there?
I don't have it linked, but here's the thing. I will make sure it's done for your audience. I will click it and make sure it's there right below the other things, because you can go to your author journey. You can schedule time with me. You can be a part of my podcast. I will create a link, Story to Stage Clarity Series. You can click on it. So I'll create that as soon as we're done here.
I love the Story to Stage. And this has been super fun talking with you, Wendy. And what a delight you are. And I love your journey. And the fact that you're you're being obedient to what you were called to do. It's a beautiful thing. And obviously it's called Wow, Look Who's Here, but I find that it attracts Wow Warriors, which is Woman of Worth Warrior. That is 100% you, Wendy. I want to say thank you for being my guest today. What's one thing you just want to leave our viewers with before we close?
Just remember, you are made for such a time as this. Your story does matter, and you're amazing in every way. Never let anyone tell you you're not.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Wendy. And thank you all for joining us today, and we'll see you soon.
Thank you. Bye-bye.